See? All right. What's going on, everybody? This is Alvin J, the most passionate non-doctor on the internet, and hopefully you guys saw the little beginning there, so they were trying to get people into the chats, but you guys could have been chatting beforehand. But if you weren't, it doesn't matter. We're here now, so it's time to get started on our topic for this week. As you guys can see, it says here, read the label on the damn food. All right, because a lot of people are reading the highlights that they're giving you as far as benefits, and you think that's everything. However, I have to tell you that if you don't read it carefully, if you don't flip the box around, if you don't look at the ingredient label, if you don't see the calories, if you don't see the little minor ingredients that they're throwing in, the additional ingredients that they're going to put in there on you, you are now in trouble, because guess what? That will slip in there, and most of these things are straight chemicals, all right? Concentrated pharmaceuticals that will do danger to you and your health. But before we get to all of that, let's get to all of you, and that is all the people who are joining us right now. Okay, so let's see who we got in the house. All right, very good. Let us know where you're from so we can throw it out there, and then we'll get to our topic for today. So Prince Bailey is always in the house. Okay, so very good. My cousin Marcus, welcome, and thank you, man. I really do appreciate everything. So if you watch this a little bit later, I appreciate everything you did for me and you're doing for me. So I really do appreciate it. Tell the family I love them. Good stuff there. Good stuff. I really do. All right, now let's find out what we got here, or who we have in the chat. Please feel free, throw your name in the chat and tell us where you're from. Okay, that's all you got to do. Put in there where you're from. We can already see your name. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, Josie is back in the house from Tampa. All right, all the way in Florida down there. All right, across the country for me. All right, I'm over here on the West Coast, so this is all good stuff. David Poulton is in the house. David dropping knowledge the last few times that he was in here. I really do appreciate the research that you're doing, David, and actually trying to improve your health and keeping up with it. So I appreciate that. Brandon, all right, so we got Shram. Okay, I think it's Shram. Brandon Shram. Hey, Alvin, it's Brandon from Prior Lake, Minnesota. Huge fan. Okay, so very nice, very nice. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate that. That's good to hear when we first come on to the live, because a lot of people, even though I know everyone appreciates it, it's nice to hear it sometimes, because you guys don't know, when you're on social media, you get a lot of negativity as far as people being upset with you not answering a question, people calling you names, people trolling and just throwing out junk in your comments. So yeah, it becomes a thing. So I really do appreciate it, Brandon. Norma back in the house. Okay, good evening from ATL, Atlanta, Barbados. I love it, Prince Bailey. All right, so yeah, there you go. Kiara. Okay, Kiara Green. Very good. Hey, from Houston, Texas. All right, we got Houston, Texas in the house. Now, you guys might see I got my big old head up here, and you guys will see that the topic here was read the label. All right, and I have to tell you like that, because a lot of people will read the benefits of a package and think that that is all that you're supposed to read. They told you all the good stuff on the front, and that's all you needed. Well, no, that's not all you needed. So we need to go a little bit further as far as that is concerned. Now, if you guys haven't already, you guys can pick up the book. All right, that is called Eat Butter, Smoke Marijuana, Kill Cancer, and Live to 100. This book is mostly about getting rid of cancer. I did it because I'm telling you what I do as far as protocols and stuff like that. But there is a disclaimer here that says that I am not a doctor. You guys should not listen to me for any reason, under any circumstances on this planet or any other. All right. But just because it's educational information, all right, doesn't mean it can't save your life. All right. And it has for several, probably right now, hundreds of people. Okay, so very good, very good. If you guys go on Amazon, the reviews are really good for the book. So thank you guys if you guys left a review. I think it's got 37 5-star reviews on there. So very nice. Thank you guys. Thank you for that. All right, let me see here. What else we got? Barbados, yes. We got Helen Riley from Atlanta. Helen, yes, you from Atlanta. I remember. Okay, I got you. All right, we got GGG. You forgot me, Keisha Gallardi from Las Vegas. Keisha, I didn't forget you, but you're all good. All right. So I know the name is different. So GGG. David Tripp, very good. Welcome back, David, in the house. Okay, we got Mike McGregor. Mike from Miami. All right, Miami. Are you staying on one of those islands in Miami? You got like a whole bunch of money. I know. Sometimes people are on here, and I don't even know that I got like people who are of status on the lives and stuff, actually listening to the medical information. So everybody needs it though. So that's the whole thing. It crosses all barriers. Like there's some celebrities out there who have family members who are actually suffering from certain things. Some of the business people that I really admire, Gary Vee has somebody who is suffering from a disease in their family. Tom Bilyeu, who does Impact Theory, he has I think it was his little sister who is actually suffering from a debilitating disease, and he actually created Quest in order to help her with her eating habits because he knew that people would not stop eating cookies, so you might as well make a healthy one. So that kind of stuff intrigues me. I love to see how celebrities pick up on things, and a lot of times when I hear celebrities talk and repeat something from somebody else who is a doctor, stuff like that, it really makes me cringe. It kind of upsets me because I'm like, hold on, you're repeating stuff that is actually the opposite of what you should be doing for a condition that you just mentioned, but because the doctor said it, because he's wearing a white jacket, because he's got a stethoscope around his neck, because he's got a button-up shirt, a fancy tie, some cotton dockers on, and some fucking topsiders, all of a sudden he knows everything about every disease in the world. No, let me tell you a secret to all you celebrities in case you're listening. The doctor, when they leave the room, they're going to look up your condition in a book. They're supposed to know a lot of the stuff that they're telling you, and they're supposed to know the history behind it. They're supposed to know the case studies. However, that's what we were supposed to do. That's what we did in pre-med, not even medical school, pre-medical school. And so therefore, if your doctor is leaving the room, they're not telling you much information, they're trying to get you out of there real fast, they don't know shit. That's the problem. All right. You got to go to somebody who knows something, who's willing to continue their learning. Most doctors are ignorant. Now, get the meaning of that, everybody. Ignorant doesn't mean they're dumb. Ignorant means you choose to ignore the information. So if you choose to ignore it, or if you're really stupid, the result is the same. You don't know. So if you don't know, why are you telling people? Well, it's just to make a profit. You got to pay back that big old loan. I understand. Okay, so not mad at you. Everybody's got to make their livelihood somehow. And a lot of the time, they are literally scamming people. If you guys watch a show called American Greed, you can see how deep the scams go sometimes, especially with doctors. So I'm not saying all of them are bad. I'm just saying most of them. Yes. So let me see. We got, oh yeah, look at this. We got from Miami. We got, yes, Irene is in the house. Yes, I got you from Baratha. All right. So India. Okay. So from Barath, India. All right. Let's see. Joshua, get there. What's going on, bro? Yes, Joshua, I remember he is. Yes, Francois. All right. Everett O'Neill back in the house. What's going on? All right. So I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Let me see. Josie said, I always knew more than a gastroenterologist. So there you go. So you gotta actually pay attention to what they do because they actually tell on themselves. Okay, so that is it. Now you guys go ahead, like and subscribe if you actually see that on the YouTube here. Go ahead and push it. Now I'm going to show you guys something. And I brought a real life prop here because this was something that we had in the cabinet. We don't eat at all, but my wife has them every once in a while because she wants something sweet. Well, she thought this was a good choice because on the box it actually gives you all the good stuff. Now, I'm not trying to bust anybody out. I'm not trying to slander anybody's company or anything like that. So I'm going to try my best to cover up the label on this so you guys can see it. But that's the box that I was holding up in this picture. Now, I'm going to show you guys this, and I want you to pay close attention. Okay, so because I'm going to read it to you. Okay, so I'm going to try to cover it up. Okay, now as far as this, okay, you guys will see we got a box of cereal here. Now, if you looked at this and you just look at the marketing of it, take a look on the front. It says gluten-free. Okay, gluten-free. So everybody's all of a sudden, just right off the bat, they're like, ooh, it's healthier. Okay, so you see that. Now, let me see. If I look on the other side here of the box, if you see in green there, you guys can't see this. I'm going to read it to you. But it says no synthetic colors, okay, no artificial flavors, and made with real cocoa. All right. Now, that sounds good. Now, I can break this all down right now. When it says no synthetic colors, they can use another word to describe other colors, which are natural, like red number 40, because it really comes from bugs. Okay, so it's natural, so you wouldn't call it synthetic. So you break this stuff down and you start realizing that it's just language, it's semantics, it's designed to trick you. Okay, now no artificial flavors. Now, chemicals, with some of which occur naturally, can still be in here in the form of a color, but because it's not, it says no artificial. That means it could be natural, but that still doesn't mean it's good for you. So when you guys are actually looking at they're tricking you with adjectives. Okay, no synthetic colors. All right, no artificial flavors. Well, most flavors are not artificial. They're real to you, and that's all that matters inside of a human body. So no matter how they define it outside your body, it changes once you swallow it. Okay, so, and the last one here, you say made with real cocoa. What percent? Is it 1%, 2%, 98%? What's the percent of the cocoa in there? Because it says made with real cocoa, but if you're making hundreds of thousands of boxes of cereal a month, then how can you use real cocoa? There ain't that much cocoa in the world, and there's more than one company that makes cocoa cereal. So is that really telling us the truth? All right, so let's flip it around here. So we're still trying to cover. Okay, now, if we then go around to the real ingredient list after they told us all the marketing stuff on the front, take a look here. It says, I'm going to see if I can read it at this angle. Okay, now it says right here, it says, first of all, what do we got? Ingredients. It says rice. Okay. Sugar, because those are in abundance, so we grow those in every country in great abundance, so we're good on that. Okay, now when we go down to cocoa, all right, still doesn't tell us. It says processed with alkali, which is also a processing agent. All right, so sounds like alkaline, but not quite. All right, so there you go. So it's made to trick you. Now, right here, you will see canola oil. Now, if anybody doesn't know, oils are endocrine disruptors. All right. That means they shut down your glands. So if you keep on eating oil, which is why I stopped eating cereal. Okay. When you eat oil, and that's what most carbs are saturated in, it's saturated in oil. So you see everything has an oil surrounding. Every single chip you put in your mouth has an oil in it. Now, and it ain't good. I'll tell you that. Now, we got canola oil. That's bad enough. Now, when we go next, we got salt. Okay. I'm assuming it's processed salt. It doesn't say organic, so it's processed salt. So it has chlorine in it. And then you guys are going to go to the next one, caramel color. Wait a minute. That is an artificial flavor. That's a preservative. So the caramel color, which is known to cause cancer, okay, in every tissue in the body, all of a sudden it's in there because why? Don't know. It doesn't add to the color. Doesn't add to it can add to the flavor. I will give you that, but is it good for a human being? No. All right, so we got caramel color. The next one on there says natural flavors. Now, I want you guys to put into the chat, I've said this 100 times. Natural flavors is the code for what chemical? All right, let's see here. Let's see if you guys know this one. All right. Oh, I got to bring out my teacher quiz questions now. Okay, so somebody tell me natural flavors. What chemical does that mean that's in here? So somebody tell me in the chat. I want to know. Kimberly Adams is in the house. Says, "Hey Al, what's going on?" All right, I love it. All right, I would have been all right now if I listened to my doctors 100% of the time. I wouldn't be alive right now. So that's deep. If I wouldn't be alive right now. Yes. All right. So I love it. All right. Look at that. Just My Imagination and Everett O'Neill, they both say MSG. Are they correct? Is that right, everyone? Let's see here. All right. Mr. Mims, what's going on, John Mimos? I love you. All right. So thank you, man. I caught your last one too on the Cajun seasoning. So yes. Now, I'm going to see, I want to see here. All right. Now, 2 people gave the answer, and I got to tell you, both of you are correct. Very good. All right. That is monosodium glutamate. Okay. It's in there to enhance the flavor of the food. It's also a direct neurotoxin to the brain. So that's one you always look out for is the natural flavors, because you shouldn't have to say natural flavors, meaning they added something in there. All right. If you just wanted cocoa would give it the flavor, but they actually put another ingredient called natural flavors in there because it signifies another ingredient. Okay. So there you go. So we got that. And let's go to the next one here. Let me see what else I got. I got caramel color, natural flavor, rosemary extract. That's the last one. Now, the good thing about that is it does have less ingredients in it. That's a good thing. It has less ingredients, but it doesn't matter if you went from 15 ingredients down to 7. Okay, so which is what's in there. However, if one or two of the 7 is extremely harmful to you, it doesn't make a difference if it's less ingredients. It's still the same amount of toxicity, and that's the problem. Okay, so yes, everybody, yes. All right, so now we're getting to the trouble spots of this. Now you guys are starting to see how this actually breaks down. You're starting to see how this works as far as reading something, knowing what it means, and then reading between the lines, which is what I just did for you. Okay, we just read between the lines. I wanted to use a real example for this because when you just say something, people take it as an abstract and they don't act on it. But if I show you the box, if I show you the ingredients, if I show you what it is, if I tell you what it means, if I tell you what it does to you, then when you go to the store, you can actually see that, turn around the package, and now you can read it for yourself and actually know what's inside of that box, that package, okay, that wrapping that they actually are serving you your food in. Okay, so yes. All right, now, even the fast food restaurants and stuff like that, they got food facts on the wrappers and stuff. It's hidden, so you don't read it, get disgusted and don't come back. But so they write it real small, usually on the inside of a package that gets dirty or something like that, so you can't read it. So McDonald's was famous for this for a while. Now everybody says go to the website to find out more information, knowing that you won't do that for something you're not interested in. Okay, so very good. All right, KC is in the house. What's going on, KC? I see you. Barbara Lewis back in there. MSG, Barbara, I see you. All right, it came in a little late, but Barbara, I still got you. You're right. Okay, good stuff. The Jack 693. Natural flavors means artificial flavors. All right, and both of them mean MSG, monosodium glutamate. So very good. I love everybody who was participating in the quiz there. All right, this is really good stuff. Now, let's go ahead. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat here. I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about what you're eating and what these things mean as far as your body is concerned, because people don't realize that when you eat the foods that have all these chemicals, additives, preservatives inside of the food, it becomes a detriment to your body and you start shutting down and attacking your liver. Your liver has over 500 vital functions inside of your body. I'm a big advocate of taking care of this big old organ right here called your liver, because if you don't, it doesn't matter what you do for everything else. If you don't take care of that one, everything else suffers and dies, including your brain. Okay, so you can live without your brain. Get in a horrible car accident, you can live without it, but without your liver, you die immediately. Okay, it does too many things for your body. So that's why I don't want you eating this junk off the shelves, because a lot of you are dying because of taste. It tastes good. That's the number one bane of a person's existence on this planet. It's stronger than heroin, stronger than cocaine, crack cocaine at that. And that is a person's addiction to their habits. That's the strongest force in the world, a human being's habits. And those are the things that you guys are going to have to learn to break. Because once you start going to the healthy food, the bad stuff doesn't seem as good to you anymore. Okay, I ate a few pieces of cheesecake during my daughter's birthday celebration, and it almost made me vomit. I mean, did it taste good? Yeah, but my body didn't want it. It didn't agree with it. All right. My body was like, you've been juicing every day this week, every day for the last 3 weeks. All right. So you've been giving me vitamins and nutrients. You've been drinking a whole bunch of water. You did. And then all of a sudden you're going to give me this BS, this bull you call cheesecake and think I'm going to like it? Nope. All right. Your taste buds change depending on what you eat. All right. Those of us who like Brussels sprouts and broccoli and collard greens and sometimes jasmine rice and stuff like that, stuff that's really good for you, stuff that actually benefits you, stuff that has nutrients in it, all of that stuff there, that's what makes a human being get to the top of their physiology, and they can live long, healthy lives, and they don't have to worry that when they get 50 years old, oh my God, is my vision going to go away? Oh my God, when I get 55 years old, I won't be able to use my knees anymore. Oh my God, when I get 65 years old and I'm ready to retire, instead of enjoying my retirement money, I'm going to be sitting in a wheelchair, having some orderly roll me around, help me out of the wheelchair onto my toilet so that I can go to the bathroom. That doesn't sound like a good plan to me, but some of you might be into that sort of thing. Maybe you're kinky like that, but I got to tell you, I'm not. Okay, so let me see here. All right. So L. Lewis says cheesecake makes me gag. Good evening, LL. I got you. All right, I know. So all the icing they put on it and all that. Yeah, LL. I can't even do the refrigerated stuff from stores anymore. Not even the Cheesecake Factory. It's just too much. I mean, they think if the more sugar you put in it, the better it'll be. I look for desserts to have less sugar, way less. I love it when I can say, "Ooh, this is not that sweet. I can eat more of this." But when something is super sweet, it's got all the syrup and the toppings and the icing. And the worst of all, the thing that makes me want to just vomit, just the most, is the maraschino cherry they put on the top of the damn thing. Oh my goodness. All right. It just makes me. All right. So it's horrible. All right. So when you guys actually, it's like the worst taste in the world to me right there. Yeah. I would rather eat a whole can of anchovies than to have to eat a maraschino cherry. All right, that's how much it disgusts me. All right, let me see. Everett says, "How can I reset my hormones and stop a wait a minute, prolactinoma? All right, pituitary brain, or do you mean a brain tumor? Okay, brain tumor from releasing excessive levels of prolactinoma." Okay, prolactinoma. Okay, so now when you say prolactin, that's something that's in the breast tissue. So I'm assuming that when you ask me that, Everett, is that is something that's activated by an excess amount of estrogen in your blood, and that's why you're having a prolactinoma. But how can you, so resetting your hormones is pretty easy. All you have to do is stop eating the junk, flush out with a saline wash, do a coffee enema. Your liver will take care of the rest, and then you'll start enjoying those the release patterns that you need, because hormones release based on what you've been doing over the last few months. Okay, so that's how long it takes to change it. And if you want to get out of those bad release patterns, that means for the next few weeks, maybe to the next month, you'll have to change those habits. And usually after about 22 days, those things start changing for you. Okay, so they start lining up for you. Now, I'm gonna make sure of this, and I always do research because I want to make sure I'm as accurate as possible. Prolactin. There you go. All right, so there you go. Yep. There you go. All right. So a prolactinoma is a type of tumor that develops in the pituitary gland at the base of the brain. All right. Prolactinoma is a non-cancerous tumor. This tumor causes the pituitary to make too much hormone called prolactin. Okay. Now, prolactin is the hormone usually in females that actually causes milk to release from the ducts. Okay. So there you go. Now, all right, I'm just making sure here, and this is not to embarrass anybody, but Everett, you're a male, correct? All right, I'm assuming. Okay, the Jax, do you use a filter in your house for water? Yes, Jax, yes. Okay, so I have a salt-free water cleaning, water softening, water cleaning, water filtering system. Yeah. All right. Yep. All right. L. Lewis. Yes. All right. Good stuff. All right. So there you go. Now, as far as this pituitary tumor at the base, now your pituitary gland is not that big. Okay, it's like the size of a nice, I guess you would call it a capsule of a supplement. It's about that big. All right, a little bit smaller as far as length is concerned. So it's just a little dot, basically a dab, a drip on the end of the big part of your brain. So you have the part of your brain, the front part of your brain that comes down. You have the thalamus, right? Under that, you have the hypothalamus, and then underneath that, the hypothalamus is controlling the pituitary gland. Now, the thalamus is the part of the brain that controls and regulates everything else in your body. The pituitary gland is the part that you secrete that regulates every other gland in your body. That's why they call it pituitary, the master gland. Now, as far as the prolactinoma, it is messing with you because it's secreting a hormone that is not abundant as far. So Everett says male. Yes. Now, remember, everybody, every human being is conceived female, meaning we have all the parts of a female when we start out. So there, things like that do come back. If you decrease testosterone or you elevate estrogen, guess what? You start exhibiting stuff like this, and then all of a sudden that can be caused by the brain tumor. In this case, it is. It is literally the brain tumor, and because of that, we get an oversecretion of something that should not be secreted much at all. It should only be in trace amounts, but it actually is secreted way more than it's supposed to. And when that happens, now that starts this activation of the chest, what would be the breasts in the female, but in the male, we have the same tissue. We don't have milk ducts like a female does because we don't have an abundance of estrogen, but we do still have some of the equipment. That's why a man can get something called gynecomastia, right, where he actually grows real breast tissue, and he can grow real female breasts if his estrogen is elevated. Okay, so yes, or his testosterone is tanked. Yeah, so that is kind of messed up. Now, everyone needs to. My tumor is 8 cams in diameter. Oh, gotcha. Now, we want to start reversing that pretty well. Now, a tumor is not a bad thing, everybody. A tumor is a good thing because a tumor is your body's way of walling off a mass that is trying to invade other spaces in your body. Okay, so it's really a good thing. So people think a tumor is bad. No, it's your body's survival mechanism. If you did not have the tumor, you would almost certainly have a metastasis, which would kill you within a few weeks to a few months. So that's nobody's idea of fun. So don't think that just because you have a tumor, oh, it's the worst thing that could have happened. No, it's the best thing that could have happened to you. That's what tumors do. Your body is literally trying to protect you. It's the same premise as a polyp in your digestive system. When you guys have an infection in your digestive system, you get a sesame seed, a poppy seed, something that does not digest inside your digestive system. If it gets stuck in there, it can cause an infection. It could be rotting in there for 10, 12 years. All right. And that means that because it never breaks down, it's insoluble fiber. So that means if it stays there, it could cause a problem, sometimes cancer. Now, what you want to do is you want to flush that out of there, get that out of there. That's why I'm always advocating saline wash. That's why I always tell you guys dietary fiber if you can't do the saline wash, because those are things that we got to get out of there. Because if you have a polyp, the polyp is a piece of flesh from your body that has encapsulated the thing that is causing the problem. It will put it on a stalk and push it away from your healthy tissues. And now it can't affect any other tissue in your body negatively. And you're just waiting for your feces to come along, rip it off the wall, and take it out of your body. That's the way it's supposed to work. Same thing with a tumor. The tumor is in jail. Literally, that's all the tumor is. It's jail for cancerous cells. So if the jail breaks open, which they call leakage, if the jail breaks open, now the satellites of the tumor cluster start spreading to other parts. So if they get access to your cardiovascular system or your lymphatic system, they start spreading to other parts of your body. Now you got bone cancer. Now you got stomach cancer. Now you got colon cancer. Now you got pancreatic cancer. Now you got mouth and throat cancer. Now you got a brain tumor. All right, all of that good stuff. And it just gets worse and worse until finally the person passes away because the host can't take it anymore. We don't want you going through those kinds of issues. So first thing you always do, and you probably already done this, the saline wash coffee enema. I always advocate it. Okay, so get that stuff out of your system. You want to cleanse so your body has no more poisons to draw off of. Okay, now when you want to get rid of a tumor, alkalize. First thing you ever do, whenever you hear tumor, alkalize, because the tumor by antioxidation will start breaking down, and you need a lot of antioxidants. That's leafy green vegetables. I would suggest you supplement these as well. Spirulina, chlorella, strongest ones you can get. Okay, those start breaking down the tumor cellular. By the cell, not taking off chunks so they become clots that can get stuck in your heart so you have a heart attack or your brain so you can have a stroke. None of that, okay? It breaks it off molecules at a time. So now you can fix the problem without injuring yourself at the same time. Now, for alkalization, I recommend fruits and vegetables, all right? I recommend the chlorella, the spirulina. I recommend that. That's how you alkalize. However, if you want to acutely do this every single day, twice a day, when you get up in the morning, 8-ounce glass of water and 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Okay, I would say about 2 hours before you go to sleep. All right, 8 ounces of water, 1 tablespoon of baking soda. I meant a tablespoon, not a teaspoon, a tablespoon. All right, and that usually helps you out with any kind of problem that you have as far as a tumor, as far as starting to hurry up and break that down for you. Now, you cannot put poisons back in the system. I know people got their vices. I know they got things that they like. People like to smoke. People like to do drugs. People like their sugar. They like their barbecue. They like their fried chicken. All right. They like everything that's bad for you. You got to get rid of the vices, because if you're saying that you want to get rid of and I'm not just talking about Everett. Okay. I'm talking about anybody. If you say you want to get rid of a disease, if you say you want to do something and you're acting the opposite way, there's nothing I can do for you. Okay, a lot of people will tell you guys, yes, you can still get on your diet and you can still eat the foods that you love at the same time while losing weight. Well, when they finally did the research, everybody, yes, you do lose weight, but just because you lose weight does not mean you're healthy. And that doesn't mean you won't drop dead tomorrow. Losing weight is not an indication of health. Losing weight just means you lost fat from your frame. That's all it means. Okay. If you really want to know how healthy you are, go get a blood test. Okay. Or better yet, you can order one to your house and you can electronically do it yourself if you can afford it. Okay. So when your blood tells you everything, so you can literally be looking good, looking slim. You've lost 30 pounds over the last 30 days. All right. That's fantastic. That's good. I will never put that down. However, I will tell you this. If I test your blood and you are 27 years old, but you have the blood of a 48-year-old, you're in trouble. Your weight doesn't mean a damn thing if that's the case. So losing of weight does not equal better health. All right, everybody understand. Okay, very good. Let me see here. All right, I got Allie Downing is in the house. All right, so Allie says, not to sound ignorant, but that's why some men are heterosexual, act more feminine because of those hormones being out of balance. Now I have read that there is research that shows that when a man is gay, or a woman is gay, they have an imbalance in a certain hormone that actually is released in the brain. It's an imbalance of acetylcholine and one other hormone, which I can't think of the name right now, that are out of balance, and that causes the man to be gay. Now, if that is the case, so what? Because if he wants to be gay, or if he likes having sex or sexual relations with another person of the same sex, who cares? All right. It's still their personal preference. There's still a situational aspect to this. So, and I'm not saying that to you, Allie. I'm not saying that so what to you. I'm just saying in general, people need to mind their own business about somebody else's sex life. Okay, I think that is the case. I'm so adamant about that because it's what pisses me off almost more than anything in life is that people are inconsiderate to other people. Meaning that you don't have enough to do in your own life where you got to go talk about somebody else's life. That's why people get wrapped up in celebrity lives and celebrity shows and reality TV. I could give a damn. All right, truthfully. Now, that's me. I don't put you down for doing it. If you like your shows, watch your shows. Okay, that's not. I'm just saying, to me, I don't like to engage or spend my time that way. Okay, because I think it's inconsiderate to actually blame somebody or think you have the right to judge somebody else because they're fat and you're not. Because I'm healthy and you're not. That's no reason to judge somebody else. I'll help anybody who wants help. It doesn't matter how you look, how old you are, if you're a woman or man, if you're Black, Asian, Latino, Indian, it doesn't matter. I'm going to help you regardless because all of us who want help need help, and you come ask for it, I'm going to give it to you. That's it. That's the plain and simple truth to it. But a lot of people don't realize that you're put on this earth with other people, and that's the only way that you survive. A lot of us have been closed off from people, and you forgot what it means to be interactive, to actually be considerate of another human being's feelings. All right. When you want to break up with somebody, you don't have to call them all kinds of names and backstab them and hate them and all that stuff. Just tell them you don't want to be with them anymore and go on about your fucking life. The life is too short to be trying to make somebody else's life miserable and get some revenge and all this. Who's got time for that shit? I just don't get it. But Allie, yes. Okay, I love it. Now, as far as this, Bo Chosen says, do you think alkaline water choices such as Essentia and Fiji are nothing more than a gimmick? No, they're better than that. I actually have done the real water tests on those. So, yep, I should have tested that because I just bought me a little water tester and I started doing the water testing on those. Those are some of the best waters you can buy. It says, or are they true health benefits above and beyond filtered water and spring water? Many things. Now, I can't say that they're much better than spring water or any, especially from a true spring. That's kind of the best water you can get with all the minerals. No chemicals, no additives, no nothing. That spring water is like the truth. All right. If you can go to a natural spring and get water, I would suggest you do it. When they're, oh shoot, it jumped on me. There you go. Now, when it says filtered water, depends on the filter. That one's a little harder. Like zero filter is better than a Brita filter. Okay, but a Brita filter is better than tap water if we're talking about chlorine and fluoride being in the water. So everything helps, but when you can go to pure sources like a spring, please do it. Please do it. It's one of the best things you could ever do for yourself. Okay, very good. Look at this. Now, David Polton says, I put in 102 hours last week. And in order to get that, I had to go with only 5 hours of sleep per night. Now, if you're healthy, David, that's plenty. 5 hours of sleep per night is plenty if you're healthy. I do the same thing, 5 or 6. I'm good. However, I'm a person who plays golf and likes to be active. I try to work out stuff. So because of that, that's good if you're healthy. If you're not healthy, you need 8 hours of sleep. If you're eating fried chicken and you're eating canes every night, you need 8 hours of sleep. You need 10 hours of sleep. You need 12 hours because that's how long it's going to take your body to recover, get the poison out of there, and get your cells back to working right. Yeah, that's why. That's why sometimes when people eat a big meal with fried chicken and mashed potatoes, all right, and French fries, tater tots, and all that carbs and breaded food, fried food, whenever you do that and you know you got to lay down afterwards, you know you just poisoned yourself. You just acutely poisoned yourself. So because of that, that's where people get that from. Okay. That's why they get that tired feeling. That's why they feel like they got to go lay down. Oh, I ain't doing nothing until tomorrow. I'm done. After they eat dinner, they're finished. So, and that shouldn't be the case. You should have more energy after you eat, not less. Okay. So let me see here. David also said, school doubled my homework class period since the last week before there was a power outage. Oh, David, you sound like one of my students here. Yes, I mean, it does come down, and it comes down on your heart. So, David, what are you doing to cope with all of this? That's a lot of work, David. That's a lot of hours. That's a lot of stress. This is a lot of undue pressure that is being put on you. In order to do what? I mean, because I'm going to ask you this, David, because I want to take you to conclusion. Is all of this stuff that you're doing right now, as far as working all these hours, lack of sleep, having more of a course load on your life, do you think it's going to come out to a positive end in your life? Do you think it's going to get you to the goal in your head that you want to get to as far as going through all of this drama? And that's what it is. It's real, but it's drama. All of this drama and this stress and the lack of sleep and all, is that going to be enough to get you what you want at the end of this? And are you going to be satisfied once you do? That's the question I got for you. Okay. So yes, I want to know this. Okay. Now, let me see. Kimberly Adams says, you know that's right. Move on and press on with your own life. That is correct. All right. I love it, Kimberly. Thanks for expressing your truthfulness. Soldier boy. I love it. All right. Let me see here. Edward Smith says, pinched nerve, herniated disc, sciatic nerve. Would you recommend both those detox methods to help, or what do you recommend? Now, I always recommend those for anything, especially what you just mentioned here. Now, when he says, all right, now let's get these one at a time. He says a pinched nerve. I'm assuming that's in your neck. Okay, because you can have that anywhere along your spine. So I'm assuming it's in your neck because those are closer vertebrae. They get stuck together. Okay, now the next one he says is herniated disc, meaning one of his discs in his spine has slipped. All right, so his spine was on top of each other, and one of the disc in between has slipped, and now his spine is now off kilter. And then what we got here is the sciatic nerve. Sciatic nerve is the big nerve along with your femoral nerve that comes out of your hip area from your sacrum in your back, and it goes down right alongside your hips here in a it's called the sciatic notch in your pelvis. There's a little piece of bone that is actually hollowed out so the nerve can drop down and drop down the back of your leg. All right, so that's what we got there as far as the sciatic nerve. Now, when he says a pinched nerve, sciatic nerve, the back, okay, the disc, all of that, please, 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 all right, Edward, if you can afford to get an inversion table, it helps so much with every single problem you just mentioned. All you have to do is put heat on your neck, put heat on your back, put heat right at the top of the bottom of your buttocks, all right? And hang upside down for about 15 minutes. It's usually 10 to 15, 10 to 20, okay? As much as you can stand. And what will happen is you'll see that when you hang upside down, it creates space between the vertebrae of your neck, creates space between the vertebrae of your spine. It takes the pressure off your sciatic nerve. And once you do that, the cartilage, meaning the disc in your back, the pinched nerve, the cartilage between your two little tiny vertebrae, and the sciatic nerve, where you can have the cartilage on the ball of the femur, which is fitting into your hip socket. You can have that cartilage come back too, because that tends to solve the problem for sciatica. Okay, now you can do this. Most doctors will tell you, yeah, once your cartilage is gone off the end of the bone, it's gone. It's called articular cartilage, and cartilage regenerates more easily than almost anything in your body. Bones and cartilage regenerate. Don't ever let a doctor tell you that it doesn't. Yes, it does. Okay, that's the whole reason we have something called proteoglycan production. It's what forms your cartilage. All right, so these people act like they don't know what they're talking about. I know they know what they're talking about. I know these are smart people. They're trying to negate information from you so that they can sell you something. And more than likely, it's your drugs or surgery. Okay, so yeah. All right, let me see. All right, I love your explanation. Thank you, John Mimos. I appreciate it, man. All right, Allie. All right, so David's got something for you. So you read what he wrote for you there. Allie Downing says, how long should you do that? I'm always using apple cider vinegar. Which is better, baking soda or apple cider vinegar? Apple cider vinegar reacts. That's the problem with it. Some people cannot handle apple cider vinegar. They want to throw up. It gets them very nauseous. Baking soda, you usually don't have that problem. However, they both do the same thing. So you have to test it out to see which one is better for you. They both are for the alkalization of your blood. They're both to weaken your stomach acid. So if you have acid reflux, something like that, baking soda to alkalize your blood, that's what it's for. I use baking soda more often because I don't like the taste of apple cider vinegar. I don't like the smell of apple cider vinegar, but I'll do it every once in a while just to switch it up so my body doesn't get used to one thing. I'll switch it up. So I keep both. Okay, so good question. Great question. All right. Now it says, how long should you do that for? Those are not drugs, so you can do them indefinitely. I would just not suggest it every day, because if you're going to do apple cider vinegar or baking soda, you usually want to do it in response to something. You don't do them every day, because if you do that every day, you're technically weakening your stomach acid to the point where you will not be able to digest food so you can get nutrients out of your food. You don't want to do it every day. So you do it as needed. So like if you're trying to lose weight and you're using apple cider vinegar to up your metabolism, you do it for 2 weeks, you stop, and you do it off for a week, and then you do it for 2 weeks, you go off for a week, and so you don't want your stomach to continue to weaken the acid, because the food that you eat will actually not be digested and you will not get the nutrients. Now, having said that, your body is faster than that. Your digestive system is faster than that, especially if you do a saline wash. Usually within a few hours, you're back to normal as far as your digestive tract. So could you do it more often? Yes, I just don't advocate it, okay? Because I don't want your system to get used to something that you're taking from the outside, okay? Because it will. All right, let me see here. What is the best brand for coffee enema and the best pot to boil it in? You can use whatever pot, just make sure it doesn't break down. If you want a brand new one, is better because you don't have any chipping in the new pan, stuff like that. The only reason you should ever be scared, I don't use a pot anymore. Okay, and that's a good question. I don't use a pot anymore. I use a coffee machine. Now, I make sure when you guys get a coffee machine, you cannot use paper filters for the coffee enema. Okay, you have to have a stainless steel strainer in the coffee machine, because if you use paper fibers get into the coffee and that goes into your rectum, and the fibers tend to stick, and sometimes they can be jabby, meaning that they can poke holes, little tiny holes into your large intestine. So that's why I always recommend that you guys have a stainless steel filter. All right, no paper. Okay, nothing else, no cloth, none of that. Stainless steel filter. Okay, now, oh, these are good questions here. I love it. All right. How often should I do the enema? So for the coffee enema, usually you only have to do it once a year. That's it. It's not like something you have to like keep up with the regimen or anything like that. Once you do it, your liver is brand new. You can use your liver. Your liver is so resilient. You can usually go 5 years, 10 years without doing it again, because your liver is so good at cleaning and repairing itself. It's not even funny. So, yeah, good question. All right, so yes, look at that. All right, let me see. David says, okay, David gives me the explanation here, everybody. David says, I'm pushing so much right now because I'm preparing to move out in May once I graduate. Okay, so we got a good goal, a big goal here. And he says, I'm also dating a French Canadian that does Twitch streaming for a living. Now, that doesn't have anything to do with you, unless they're not making any money at the streaming, and therefore you now have to take the brunt of all the financial hardship that is going to come up as far as the first things that have to be paid for when you move in together. The deposit, starting up the bills, okay, getting your utilities going, So there's a lot of stuff there. So maybe that's the reason that you feel a little bit stressed. Do you feel like the person that you're dating is actually going to contribute to this, or are they going to be more of a burden to you as far as somebody you have to take care of? I wonder. All right, I'm wondering about that. So let me see. Never knew. Yes, yes. Thank you, bro. All right, Edward. Yes, good stuff. Good stuff. Allie is going back to David. So very good stuff here. John Memo says, I like to drink Evian water. Evian's pretty good. I tested that one. Yes, Evian's pretty good. But my favorite, Fiji. It's so expensive, though. My goodness. All right, for water. That's why I bought me a zero filter pitcher. So if in case I can't buy the Fiji all the time because I don't want to go broke buying water. So in case I can't buy the Fiji all the time, I would literally have my zero water filter where I can just get it out of the tap, turn it into filtered water that I can actually just throw nutrients into. So yeah, next best thing. After a spring, I would say. All right, so yes. So I've been doing apple cider vinegar for months. Oh, Allie, yes. All right, so you can now. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're doing just little pops inside of water and stuff like that. That's fine. All right, but it does weaken your stomach acid. So you might notice some things start hurting or some hormones might start going off because of that. Okay, you can't keep on, because without those you can't get the nutrients. Without the nutrients, your glands, they don't function the way they're supposed to. Your organs don't function the way you're supposed to. Your tissues get weak. Your skin gets blotchy. So things start happening that's not supposed to happen. Okay, let me see here. All right, let me see. Yes, true. Okay, or worse, a plastic filter. Yes, no, I know. Trader, never with the plastic filter. Good stuff. I wish for my coffee enemas, they don't make a glass bucket. They do not make a glass enema bucket. Okay, it's literally a plastic $3 bucket that can usually break down with heat. That's why I used to put hot coffee in a plastic, but I don't do that anymore. I wait till it's room temperature in the glass and then I put it into the plastic. Then I have no breakdown of the plastic. So yeah, so I learned that a long time ago. So good observation there. Yes. Let me see. David Polton says, when testosterone levels dropped, like mine, I believe so. Then again, a lot of my issues revolved around psychological factors. How do you think that can impact a person's gender expression? A lot. Because people don't realize, people think psychological problems are just head problems. You go see a shrink, you go see a psychologist, a psychiatrist. No, that's not true. What you think in your mind induces stress. Stress is directly controlled and expressed by your adrenal glands. Adrenal glands can cause problems in your body that can cause you to die. Okay, that's how powerful stress is. So psychological problems are not just psychological problems. They are actually physiological problems that actually will result or manifest as disease and death. So there's no lightness to when somebody says, oh, there's psychological problems. It's all in your head. That's complete bullshit. Okay, your mind is more important than anything when it comes to the body, and we've already proven that. All right, if you guys want more proof of that, go study the work of a man named Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's actually found and done studies and has hundreds. All right, wait a minute. No, his is thousands. He has thousands of case studies from people who have actually gone through these mind flushes and gone through these long workshops, these whole weekend workshops where they had a disease. He used not one drug, not one supplement. And by the mind alone, he was able to get rid of people's blindness, get rid of their disease. And this is all documented, guys. You can go read. You can go read the books and stuff like that. One of his best books is his first one. I think it's his first one. It's called "You Are the Placebo." All right, so it's craziness how well he's documented and all the stuff that he can do with a human being as far as getting them well with their mind. That's my last frontier. Like after I get all the stuff with the health down, the eating right, the supplementation, and what's exactly right for my body, I'm going to go straight into the psychological stuff as far as how do I get rid of disease, fix my bodies, close my injuries, make myself tougher as far as being indestructible with my mind. I want to go all the way there. Okay, so yeah. All right, it sounds strange to some people, but yeah, I want to go all the way. I want to know what can a human being do as far as repairing their body, changing their body, changing genetics, changing DNA expression. I want to see what you can do with your mind because it's been proven and it happens to everybody every day. It just hasn't happened to me yet because I'm not concentrating on it yet, but I so badly want to. All right, so yes, let me see here. All right, she makes over 2 times the money that I make, actually. Okay, David, so she's not a burden. All right, this is good stuff. All right, so she might, hopefully she's not stingy either. All right, now with the Twitch streaming and stuff like that, that's amazing stuff. I can't tell you guys how everybody in here right now, if you got a job, you should have a side gig on the internet doing something. I don't give a damn if it's selling t-shirts, if you got a YouTube channel, if you got a Twitch channel, if you got whatever, affiliate marketing, internet marketing, if you want to sell courses, whatever it is, get on that today, okay? Because the old world of the industrial style of working in jobs, that's going away. Pretty soon, nobody will want to work a job. The problem is we still have a system that depends on us doing that. And because of that, when people get out of junior high and high school, and most students still no idea what entrepreneurship is. I was blown away. I asked a class full of my students, I have 51 students in the class. I asked the students, how many of you have a YouTube channel? Nobody raised their hand. Is anybody doing anything online? No students raised their hand. Is anybody selling anything online? Nobody raised their hand. Has anybody sold something once online on eBay just to make some extra money? 2 people raised their hand. I mean, you guys do realize this is not the industrial age anymore. This is the technological age. You're supposed to be able to make money online. And now they're showing you, everybody has a blueprint for this. All right. If you want it fast, buy somebody's program, follow the program, you get money. Okay. Same thing I did. Okay. I'm going to admit this to you guys. All right. In 2000, I think it was 2001, I brought a real estate course for $5,000. Now, my mother said, you're crazy. All right. My dad was like, go ahead and do it. My dad's real laid back. He's supportive. All right. My brother was like, what the hell are you doing? Spending $5,000 on a real estate class. All right. You know, that stuff is a scam. Okay. And everybody, I only had one friend who was an entrepreneur, Big Brian. All right. And Brian was like, yeah, man, whatever you want to do, I'm all for it. And when I did that, and I bought that $5,000 course, in the next 5 months, I made $150,000. Now, they can say all they want. It doesn't work. It's a scam. All right. It's because they wouldn't do it. I was willing to be a fool. I was willing to be the butt of somebody's jokes in order to try something different. That's all entrepreneurship is. You try shit. Okay. And when I did, I made the money and then some back. So my $5,000, I had that back in the first 2 weeks. Because when the man said, run newspaper ads, and when you get the calls coming in, this is the contract you have them sign, this is what you do, and this is how you get rid of the house. I did that, and I made the money, period. I didn't say, oh, well, this is, what do I do about this part? And do they sign this right here? And it could have all been fucked up. But I still did it, and I still made the money from it, period. Okay, so yes. So a lot of people, when they talk, they're talking from their limited experience, and they're trying to tell you some stuff they might have heard on television, a special that they watched, a documentary they saw on Netflix, okay, a movie that they saw on Amazon Video. They watched a documentary on HBO, and now they're expert on fucking money. All right, I doubt it. Okay, so whatever you guys want to do, please go ahead and do it. What's the worst that can happen? You fail and you go back and get a job. You know, it's easy to get a job, don't you? Yes, I didn't realize how easy it was, especially for somebody who is on top of their game. Okay, if you guys want a job, just do this. Wear a suit to your damn interview. More than likely, you'll get the job, because everybody in Las Vegas anyway, they're coming into job interviews for prestigious positions in wife beaters, cargo shorts, knee-high socks with stripes on them, flip-flops, uncut hair, bad breath. I mean, I thought this was like basic. I thought that was like, it was a given. You're going to get your hygiene together. You're going to get a haircut. You're going to make sure you smell good. You're going to put on a suit. You're going to put your best foot forward. You're going to go into the interview. You're going to do a little research before you go to the interview and all that stuff before you talk to the company, so you know about the company before you get interviewed by the company. People don't act like they know this anymore. It's so easy. So I tell you, let me see. All right, Helen V. Helen V says, Alvin, I love your book, but it's not Susan sauna proof. She took it in the sauna. It's paper, Helen. It's paper. All right, you can't do that. All right, so Susan, you know what that means. You got to go buy 10 more. That's all you can do. I'm just kidding. All right, so you might have to get another one, but I do have the digital version on there. So if you want to like get it on your Kindles, there's the digital version as well. So there you go. Let me see. All right, now let me see here. Bam. Hold on. Ooh, how far up does this go? My goodness. Okay, there you go. So I mean business says, what is the best method to correct cirrhosis of the liver? Coffee enema. End all, be all, coffee enema. All right. Now, when you have cirrhosis of the liver, that means that your liver is poisoned severely. It means that your liver, for some reason, you could have breathed in asbestos. You could have urea crystals in your liver. You could have drank it to death. Okay. I'm not saying this is just examples. I'm not saying this about you. However, when you have your liver, it is super resilient. It is way more. It has way more powers of recovery than any other organ in your body, including your brain. So if you take care of it, it comes all the way back very easily. Okay, you just can't let it go to the point of no return, because your liver will work on like 3% of its capacity. It will still try to work. However, usually at around 33%, when you kill your liver to the point where it's 100, it goes all the way down to 50. Usually right at 33%. That's when all hell breaks loose, because it does so many things for your body. That's when you start noticing, and you start noticing on a big level when things start going wrong. Okay, so first, last, coffee enema. Yes, the best thing you can do for your liver. Okay, so very good question. Very good question. What do you think about the hint water? Is that a healthy option? Barbara Lewis, what is hint water? All right, I don't know about that one. Hint water. 2 tablespoons. Allie Downing says 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in 10 ounces of water. Okay, so you were going light. Okay, now remember, Allie, no matter how much you take, it's still going to weaken your stomach acid. So if you're doing it light, that's pretty light. So if you're doing it light like that, I would say, and you said tablespoons. Okay, so I usually only advocate 1 tablespoon in 8 ounces of water. So you diluted it still, so that's pretty good. However, when you're doing that, usually you still have to wait a couple of hours or a few hours after you eat, like 2 or 3 hours, because you want your stomach acid to renormalize before you eat something, because you won't break it down. Okay, your acid will be weak. Okay, so yeah, so you might have to wait a little bit for that. Now, if you're only doing that once a day, just wait the 3 hours, and then you don't have to worry about anything else throughout the day. So you're all good. So yeah. It does normalize. Now, for people who are in bad health, like you eat fried chicken, a lot of times you go to fast food, a lot of the times you're eating Taco Bell every day or every other day, you're eating Pizza Hut every day or every other day, you can't do what Allie is doing. You cannot do the apple cider vinegar every day, because you don't get nutrients in the first place. And if you weaken your stomach acid, you definitely won't get any. So just remember that, everybody. The more your health is suffering, the less you will be able to benefit from things that actually will help you. Okay, so that's the whole reason behind us trying to get everybody healthy. Okay, very nice, very nice. Let me see here. All right, David Platt says, like when people say weed is just mentally addictive, only the central nervous system. Now, can it be? Yes, because technically a human being can form a habit around anything. It doesn't have to be the drug itself. A human being can form a habit, period. All right. However, when they say only the central nervous system, it does affect other systems in the body. And it doesn't affect the central nervous system badly at all. It slows your reflexes a little, but as far as cognition, a little. You still are fully aware of everything that's going on. Your thinking just occurs a little bit slower. So it takes you a minute to comprehend things a little bit better, especially if you're like really on it. But other than that, there's no really negative side effects of marijuana. Technically, there's not. Now, I have to preface that by saying I don't think anybody should be smoking marijuana and driving a car, operating heavy machinery or anything like that, because your reflexes are slow. You could kill somebody. Okay, so that's what, like if you're driving 80 miles an hour on the highway and you're baked, you don't have time to respond if somebody stops in front of you with your slow reflexes. Okay, so yeah, so I just have to throw that out there because some people say, yeah, let's go for it. No, let's not. All right, let me see. Soldier Boy says, is taking milk thistle better than or equal to a coffee enema? Milk thistle actually helps clean out your liver. I'm sorry, not your liver, your intestine. It's more of a dietary fiber. It's more of a nutritional fiber. So when you do milk thistle, it does have an antioxidant effect, meaning it does help everything in your body because it does have that in there. However, milk thistle is usually used as a dietary fiber. So you're using that to clean out the colon. That would be you can replace the saline wash with that, but not the coffee enema. The coffee enema is straight for your liver to blow it up, agitate it, dump the toxins out of your liver so that you, in essence, have a brand new liver. Okay, so a little bit different. Okay, let me see here. Helen V says, it's about 180 degrees in the sauna. How many coffee enemas should I do per month? Usually you only have to do one per year. Okay, it's not something you have to constantly do. Now, I do them more than once because I hate, and this is just my preference. I hate when I eat bad food. Like, I will eat pizza every once in a while. I will eat dessert every once in a while. The next day, I'm in my bathroom on the floor cleansing, saline wash, coffee enema. Now, I do that because there's so many poisons in foods nowadays. There's so much stuff that invades the human body that I want to cleanse that out because I want to live a long, healthy, productive life. So because of that, I don't wait. I actually try to get like right on it, get it out of my system so I'm not continuing, because the longer it sits in your colon, the food, the longer the 2 or 3 days it takes to work through most people's colon. For me, it's one day. Usually one day I eat something, it's out the same day. However, I don't even want it in there that long. When I eat something, the next morning, early 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm on the floor in the bathroom doing my saline wash and my coffee enema. Yeah. So, because I don't want it in my system. I want my system to recover, because right after you do the saline wash and the coffee enema, your energy is through the roof. It's not from the coffee. It's because your liver is now operating at optimum. You'll notice that the energy level lasts. It's not like crash. When you do the coffee, you get up and then you crash. You do the energy drink, you get up and then you crash. Your liver, when you get that, that's where your energy units come from. When you eat a carbohydrate, when you eat proteins, when you eat the fats, the energy comes from your liver. It produces your units called ATP units, adenosine triphosphate. That's the energy units your body uses to give you energy. Okay, that's another reason your liver is super important. Okay, so let's see here. All right. Yes, it says. Wait a minute. I still did fried chicken, but I NutriBullet my veggies, got my enema bag, colon hydrotherapy. All right. So Helen, even though you did, nobody's perfect. I do it sometimes myself. All right. I'll go to Cane's every once in a while because I'm way past my eczema, thank goodness. But I can still go back to Cane's and eat it every once in a while, and it has no effect on me. It's actually pretty good. But do I indulge in the sweet tea? No. All right. So I don't want a whole bunch of processed sugar in my tea. I will get the regular tea, or I'll go somewhere else and get tea, or I'll make my own tea at home because I buy the tea bottles from Costco. So the tea Java, the tea Java tea from Costco. So, yep. So just minor tweaks to help myself avoid some of the more bad stuff. Okay, let me see here. All right, everybody. Let me see. John Memo says, what do you think about CBD and THC gummies? Depends on the company. I recently did a review about that, but my job, they started telling me I had to take the links off for the CBD gummies because I was actually selling them as an affiliate. But my job actually, they don't recognize because it's not federal. It's not federally legal. So I had to actually stop with the promotion of those because of that fact. So so again, getting in the way. So yep. So but it depends on the company they come from. The Jean Memos, this company I was getting them from was a company called Green Life Organics. Yes, Green Life Organic. They had the THC gummies, and they had the CBD gummies, and they were for different things. One was for muscle relaxation. The other one was for to get your appetite back if you had chemotherapy or something like that. It helped you with a lot of other things too, as far as tissue relaxation, flushing the tissues, getting better sleep, better thinking, clearing the fog from the brain, all that good stuff. So pretty good. Okay, and now I did eat these. I did do the drops and all that stuff, and yeah, so I fully did the gummies. I fully did the drops, and to me, I had no side effects. I didn't have any lightheadedness. I didn't have any excess sleepiness where I couldn't operate a vehicle. None of that stuff. It worked like it said it did. All right, and that's why I like standing by companies like that. Now, these people, they actually have their own farm out in California. So yeah, so I was really impressed by that. Okay, so let me see here. All right, hint water is purified water, but with fruit flavors. Oh man, food coloring to throw it in there. All right, it's chemicals. It is chemicals. So I would say get you some regular water. So the hint water, I'm gonna look up the ingredients. Let me see if I can find it for somebody. So we got hint water. Let me see. What do they call it? No, nutrition. There you go. Hint water nutrition label. All right, so I'm gonna put it on here. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's the new one. I remember seeing this. Let me see. All right, hemp water. Let's see what you got in there. Yes. Hint is a vegan and free of sugar, sweeteners, MSG, nuts, soy, gluten, and preservatives. All right, very nice. Very nice. 0 calories, doesn't have anything in it. All right, now, purify, listen to this. Okay, everybody, I want you guys to see what they're talking about here. Hint water. It only has 2 ingredients. Sounds good, doesn't it? Only 2. All right, this is good. I was expecting it to be watercolor, all right, or food coloring, right? It says the 2 ingredients are purified water and natural flavors. The worst thing you can do is put MSG into water because then it will be a direct neurotoxin right to your brain. All right. So even though it's in trace amounts, if you drink the water every day, it's not going to be trace anymore. It's going to be hurting you. Okay. It's going to be damaging to your brain. So I don't know about that one. Oh my! See, that's why you got to do research. All right, I love it. That's why you got to do research sometimes. Sometimes it's not telling you. All right. Oh, I was on the wrong screen. Gotcha. All right, there you go. Barbara Lewis. Yes. David. Yes. Okay. Allie. Now, Allie Dowling says, is there pain associated with cirrhosis? Yes. Okay, most people say yes. All right, now I've never had it, so I can't personally tell you, but from being around patients, yes. All right, now I have a friend who drinks heavy and has a consistent pain on his side where the liver is located. Yes. All right, damage to the liver directly. So that's a direct hit to the liver. Now, she says he had an ultrasound done, but was told it was nothing. Now, whenever you feel pain, especially around your liver in your lower right quadrant of your abdomen, that is never nothing. If he feels a pain there, there was one of my students, and she, same thing. She was told that she felt something really ugly that was happening in her middle to right where her liver was. And when she goes to the doctor, they do the test, they do the blood work, they take a look, he feels this, he does the auscultation, listening with the stethoscope, and all that good stuff. And when he does all of this, nothing wrong. You're all good. You can go back home. But she said, you don't understand. I still feel pain and it's pretty bad. Nope, we can't find anything, so there's nothing wrong. Yeah, doc, like that fucking means something. All right. Oh, yes, just because you said it's okay, my pain just magically goes away. Okay, no, nothing like that. Now, this is what happened. She actually had a tumor underneath her liver, just above her gallbladder, and it decided to grow. And when they said it was nothing, she kept going back. And by the time she went back and they were like, oh my God, you need immediate emergency surgery, the tumor had grown the size of a basketball in her abdomen, and they were wondering where the hell the swelling was coming from. I mean, can you be any more incompetent? If a patient tells you they have pain, it's best to believe them. They've been living with their body their whole life. You've only been seeing them for the fucking 15 minutes. They've been sitting in your office, doc. So what can you possibly know about their pain and their psychological attachment to it? You don't. So it's best that you do more tests, probe a little further. Maybe you have to do an endoscopy. But nope, you're too fucking lazy to do that, aren't you? Okay? You could have done an additional test. You could have taken an ultrasound of the abdomen. Didn't want to do that. So the young lady actually ended up suffering because they wouldn't do any of the required tests that they're supposed to do when somebody reports pain. Yes. So kind of strange, yes. All right. So Helen B said, I tried to get a friend to do a liver flush, but she did read only 3 pages in. I told her ignorance is a choice. Helen, you didn't have to do her like that. All right. Now, if she understands, that's cool. But as far as that, I don't try to force anything on anybody. If they don't want to do it, just they don't want to do it. They will see your health. And when they start going the wrong way and they start getting these things and they're like, wow, she's always healthy. Nothing ever happens to her. She's not going to the doctor every week. Maybe I should ask her more about, they will ask. Because I always get it later. All right. I so badly yesterday. All right. I was out hitting golf balls. Right. And these guys were talking about, they were talking about their health and they were talking about their surgery. And then they talking about the COVID vaccine. I so badly wanted to jump in and say, you guys don't know a damn thing about what you're talking about. Let me enlighten you. But I was like, yeah, man, that's good. That's all right. Yes. All right. Yeah, I know. And that's all I did. I just stood there. I agreed with them. And that was the end of that. Because people like to pretend that they know. They're not going to jump into a medical book like I am. They're not going to read 30 articles on the same thing like I am. They're not going to find out what people do and how they act and what's the chemical nature behind it. They're not going to find out what hormone release pattern does this and that, what surgery does this and that, what muscle moves this and that and relates to this particular hormone release pattern. They're not going to do that. All they're going to do is sit back, pretend like they know everything, and then just keep talking. I know a lot of my family members do it. Okay, so yeah. So I don't try to correct. I don't do that anymore. I just yeah. I know. Yeah. All right. It says, isn't that convincing, everybody? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yes, I understand. Oh yeah, them cigarettes. Sometimes you read an article that said that cigarettes will help you. They're healthy for you. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead with your bad self. All right. I agree. So until you want help and you realize that your cousin, all right, is a 45-year-old man who has no health conditions, who actually can still dunk a basketball, who actually has good skin, who actually has no problems internally or externally, who can still bench press 240 pounds, okay, stuff like that. If that's not enough for you, then feel free, believe whatever you want to believe. Okay, but they always later on, man, I heard you was doing the health stuff, man. Why you ain't telling me about it? You didn't want to hear it. You didn't want to hear it. You wanted to go off on your stories about what you heard and what you looked at and what you found out, but you didn't want to ask somebody who is a anatomy and physiology instructor, who is a root cause analysis specialist, Six Sigma trained, and somebody who's a medical researcher. You don't want to listen to me. You wanted to go off on your, so I let you. All right. And then when they come back, I don't hold it against them. I don't be like, yep, I told you so. You should have had your ass in here earlier. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say, okay, what can we do now? That's it. All right. I'm not going to give them a hard time. None of that. Okay. Let me see here. All right. Allie says, well, no, I got that one. Okay. So Mr. Mim says Zen Leaf is the company. Gotcha. Okay, Zen. I haven't done any research on them, so I'll have to look it up. All right, let me see. M. Ann says, "What do you think about Lazo tea?" Now, that's a pretty good one. I actually was drinking that for a little bit, but I didn't find it. It's not like it's any better or any worse. If you can get pure tea, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter the brand name, any of that stuff. Just is it tea? Does it have any other junk in it? If it doesn't, it's good. If not, yes. Try to get it organic if you can. If you can't, it doesn't matter. Do your research on the company. All right, do your research on the company, because a lot of times when you guys do research on the company, you will find that it's an empty grocery store that used to be in business 12 years ago, but is abandoned now. I found that with a lot of water companies. I found that with a lot of these companies that say they're this and that, and they were trying to get me to do a partnership deal with them and stuff like that. When I looked on Google Earth, the very address they have on their website, when you go to Google Earth and zoom in on it, it's a field in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so just remember, everybody, do your research. That's why I'm so hell bent on having people do their research. All right, even if I know something and I know it to be true down to the core, it's better if you find it out for yourself. Because if I tell you, I'm just a guy telling you something on the internet, and now you can go listen to the next guy do it. But if you listen to me and then you go do your own research, it reinforces the fact that, oh, he does know what he's talking about. This is the way it works, and this probably is the best way to do it. I've been through all that. I read. I love to read. I like to put stuff into real life. I like to try stuff out for myself. I like to see real life case studies of stuff. I don't just read. That anybody can do that. I'm talking about see people come through diabetes, see somebody come out of a stage 4 cancer, see somebody get rid of breast cancer, and now all of a sudden their life is right back to normal. That's what I'm talking about. Instead of laying up in the hospital with a nasal cannula in your nose, barely being able to breathe with your hair falling out because you're taking chemo treatments. Mm-hmm. Yes. So I understand why people do things. You can do whatever you want for whatever reason you want. Okay. But just know there's a consequence behind it. Because there's a lot of people who are defiant. And I am too. I'm a defiant person. I am a contrarian. I usually, when somebody else, if everybody's going this way, I'm going to go the opposite way because I know following the crowd is usually a bad idea. All right. I am a contrarian. Now, because of that, right, I really do have to do research because I really do need to know if I'm going to go opposite of everybody else, am I doing it for the right reason? Because if everybody stops at a red light or a stop sign, I'm not going to go run through the red stop sign just to be different. Okay. All right. That'll kill me. That's not a good decision. However, if I see that most people go to the hospital, most of them come out worse than when they went in, I ain't going to do that shit. All right. It's off limits. All right. I'm not going to do that. So I know how to make an educated decision on when to go off on my own. And usually I have come out really well on that front. Okay. So, all right. Had prostate cancer. Now I don't. Okay. So gained, what was it from November to December, gained like 30 something pounds, right? Right now, almost lost all of that. Okay. So what am I doing? It's working for me. All right. It's working for me. All right. So that's all I can tell you. All right. So you gotta find your own journey. So that's the thing there. You got to try stuff out, see if it works. If it doesn't, you try another method. Okay. Let me see here. Oh, look at this. David Platt says, I meant that if when you're addicted to weed mentally, then you are addicted. I like it myself, but I think people dilute the concept that it's real addiction if you take it too far for too long. Okay, gotcha. So I understand what you're saying, David. So good. All right, I got you. All right, there you go. Now, it says here, Helen says, you should have seen her face, and she agreed. All right, when you told her that ignorance is a choice, and she was just like, oh, I guess so. Yes. All right. Now, when you told her that, I'm going to tell you this. People don't know what that means. When you say something is ignorant or somebody is ignorant, you're not calling them dumb. You're saying that you're a person who ignores information when it is put in front of you. Therefore, you choose not to know. So if you don't know because you chose not to, or if you don't know because you're stupid, the same result is both of you don't know. So if neither one of you is willing to put in the effort to find out the information. So if that is the case, nobody is dumb because they're dumb. You're dumb because you choose not to study. Nobody is lacking information out here. You just choose to ignore it. Because if you can read and you got all your faculties and you're a functioning, normal adult human being, that means that you can learn anything that anybody else has learned. All our brains are dynamic in the fact that they grow in response to the amount of information that we put upon them. And then you can absorb that information and then start putting that into action. There's no miracle to that. All human beings can do that, even ones with disabilities. So you have no excuse when you say, yes, I choose not to know. Like a lot of people don't know about this pandemic that's going around. A lot of people don't realize that that has the exact same mechanism for entering the body and entering your cells as HIV. Now, we know HIV is man-made. When you go look at the makeup of the pandemic virus, all right, same thing. It is man-made because all that's supposed to be inside of a virus is RNA. That's it. Okay? It's not supposed to have capsids and enzymes and parts that cleave DNA and cleave the protein part. You're not supposed to have all that inside it. So somebody put it in there. Okay, if you know science and you've been around long enough and you studied enough, you know viruses don't act like this. So how did this happen? Then you start asking the questions. Then you start doing your research. Then you start finding things out. See, that's the way it's supposed to work. But nowadays, certain people, they don't want you to research certain things. They don't want you looking at a certain thing. They don't want you looking at certain companies. So, it's society, capitalism. Everybody's trying to cover their own ass. They're trying to protect their position. Nope. I'll give up some of my position if it helps a lot of other people. All right. It's the way it's supposed to be. You're only supposed to be looking out for yourself all the time. Okay. So, yeah. All right. Let me see. All right. All right. By TLC, Total Life Change. Look at that. All right. Very good. Let me see. What are your thoughts on serapeptase? All right, that's one of those digestive enzymes that we were talking about earlier. Yes, digestive enzyme is supposed to help you break down your food if you don't have the bacteria in your gut to actually break it down. So you have to take digestive enzymes, or if you don't have a gallbladder, then you would take it. But it's actually a pretty straightforward enzyme. It's not like it's you just told me about the enzyme. You didn't say that it was in something else. So the enzyme itself is pure. Okay, so if you just got the pure enzyme, you're all good. All right, it does what it's supposed to do. It's literally supposed to help you metabolize certain proteins and certain fats inside your body so you get a certain element or protein or mineral out of it. So, yeah. So, yep. Very good. Very good. All right, everybody. So, yes. Oh, look at that. It's Falsey's Monster. Truth Freeze. I see you. All right, Everett. All right. So, Everett, no, you're all good. All right. Sorry to ask so many questions. What condition causes blindness as long as a lot of other problems? So it's very depressing. Yes. All right. So, yeah, you're not asking too many questions. You're all good. You're all good. So, is that Everett? It says what condition causes blindness? All right. So are you asking just for that in general? Or is it something else? All right. As Keisha says, I love when you get deep. All right. So thank you, Keisha. I appreciate that. Now, everybody, it appears that we've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes. All right. I'll shut up now. Nice tie. So, Helen, you don't have to shut up. All right. So, as a matter of fact, we want you guys to put your names in the chats because I'm about to get out of here. So, as soon as I see whatever is talking about here, then we'll go ahead and get out of here, everybody. So, what I want to say is it has been a pleasure talking with you this Friday evening. It looks like we had a lot of people on here who enjoy what we were talking about and trying to get your health back as far as the different methods, the procedures, the specific steps on how to do something. So I really do appreciate you guys riding with us, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you, everybody. So we got Helen, we got David, Helen V, David Platt, I got you in the house, Everett O'Neill, Truth Freeze, what's going on? All right, Ty with the alligator shirt. All right. I wish it was. All right. So there you go. Norma Ozia. Very good. Keisha in the house. Keisha Gayardi. Very good. I appreciate it. There you go. We got who else? Who else in the house? LL Lewis. Always a pleasure. Okay. C. Wait a minute. Shanabia. All right, C. Shanavia. All right, there you go. All right, we got M. Ann in the house. Very good. All right, so I'm just my imagination. Very nice. All right, thank you for riding with us. I appreciate it. Dr. Oh, yes, John Memos. Thank you. The professional, the Dr. Chef. All right, the guy who actually has one of the best cooking channels on YouTube. I love it. All right, so I love it. Now, let me see here. Kimberly Adams. Yes, Barbara Lewis. John Memos. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Love you. All right. So Frederick Bates in the house. All right. Prince Bailey, first and the last. Very good. Prince, thank you for coming out here from Barbados. All right. I love it. All right. So I appreciate everybody stopping by and doing what you do. Thank you guys for dropping the questions, addressing the comments. And I really do appreciate the end, you guys dropping the love. All right, so I really do appreciate that. You guys have a good one. Remember, everybody, I am Alvin J, the most passionate non-doctor on the internet, meaning that I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice and all this stuff, but I'm going to tell you who needs that shit anyway, because most of the time it's actually degrading your health. So I just had to throw the disclaimer in there. I always do, because I call myself a non-doctor, but people love to call me a doctor. However, because I've helped more people with their conditions, some people, than their doctor has. And that's not saying a lot, right? Because doctors are trained in one way: cut, burn, and poison, and that's not the way you achieve health. It's way more complicated than that. Okay, so just to take out body parts. Okay, so who else we got in here? Jeff Haynes, I see you all up in the house. Very nice. So you guys have a good Friday night. I wish you guys a good weekend and a good next week. I will see you guys back here on Friday next week. We go live at 3:45. So I'll see you guys back here next Friday while I answer some more questions. Please, if I did not get to your question this week, I'll get to it next week. So just remember it, write it down, whatever you got, and then we'll get to it on the next one. Okay, so you guys have a good evening. Enjoy your Friday night. Eat something healthy, eat something organic, do something healthy for your family, so that the next time you get on, you can tell us what you did. All right, that was healthy. Okay, so that is it, everybody. You guys enjoy it. Have a good night, and I'll see you next time.